Oh man, oh man. I got a couple of things I want to look at. You know, I'm gonna paint the picture for all of you. Okay, I'm gonna paint the picture. All right, I'm gonna paint the picture. So last night I was playing games with Samson. I'm rocking up around 9. As I rock up, I'm like, oh yeah, this whole thing is starting. So I go to open the I open up the stream, and the second I open up the stream, right, this happens. I see Lucasfilm Games, and I'm like, and I'm there going, Samson, click the link, click the fucking link, Samson. Like, I'm going, click the link. So let's just watch it, guys. Let's watch it.
Peace is a lie. That is what the Sith believe. They promise power. Now they wield it. We face the greatest Sith in generations.
Yes!
They must be stopped.
Woo! Fuck yeah, dude! Fuck yeah! And PC, yeah! So what actually was KoToR? KoToR is obviously Knights of the Old Republic. It was a game released around 2003. It is arguably the best ever story Star Wars game to exist. Nothing really comes much closer to it. Fallen Order does, in my opinion, actually. But oh man, it's one of the best multiplayer. No, KoToR is a single-player RPG. So Star Wars: The Old Republic, just to confuse things, is an MMO that is based a couple hundred years after these films, these games. It's a single-player RPG story game, adventure thingy. And oh my god! And I'm so. Do you know why I'm so excited, guys? I'm so excited because this is gonna be. Well, for one, it was a remake, which is what I'm looking forward to the most. Because yeah, we could just play. Like we could just play the freaking old one again. Like I know it has a bit of crashing issue for some people. Unfortunately, Samson was not able to play it very well because it just kept crashing on him. But like. It's accessible, right? It's possible to play it. But a remake, what I think of Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's what I'm so hyped for, because I think, hey, look what these guys did. They got the license, they expanded it. Lucasfilm Games is a brand new studio again. They're gonna be looking to prove themselves. They're gonna be providing so many assets and music to just like, oh, so good. So fucking good. I just... Oh, I'm so ready, guys. I'm so ready. If you couldn't tell, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 years away because we haven't seen any gameplay. Lucasfilm Games has existed for like what? Just under a year. So realistically, unless these guys were working on it before they were given the Star Wars license, which is a gamble, but hey, some companies do that, and they just throw a pitch out there and they get it. So, but unless they did that, we could be looking at 2, 3, 4 years. But I'm glad it's finally happening. And this is when a remake justifies it, the same as Final Fantasy VII. I'm going to keep using this as an example, because this game came out in 2003. 2003 this game came out. So a remake's actually worth it. Because one, it isn't the most accessible game. It's not available on most platforms. So you're gonna get a whole new generation into Old Republic lore again, into the Legends universe. And you're gonna make all the old fans super happy. And this is just an example, right, and why I think KoToR is so good. I had no nostalgia goggles. Yes, I'm a Star Wars fan, and that will taint my opinion a little bit. But I played this for the first time in like 2016, 2017. And I still loved it. At that point, you know, it's like, what, 14 years old. The combat can be a little jank. The system can be a little funny. But you know what? The story was so good that I loved it. So. Oh, man. It's the fact it's going to be a remake and not a remaster. It's what makes me care about this. Yes. Hell yes. I fully agree. Remasters are cool and all, and I do agree to make just to uplift the game enough to make it so everyone can play it again. A better PC port, an availability on, let's say, a PS5 and Xbox and whatever. Fine, but I think they've recognized that the game could be a little off in places, and a remake with brand new graphics, this whole new hype for Star Wars, because obviously we got Book of Boba coming out, we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, we have Star Wars Visions coming out in less than 2 weeks. Like, we have so much stuff. Let's get the developer interview.
Treadwell, he's the lead producer at Aspire. And wouldn't you know, just a little while ago, we got the announcement of a remake for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. So, Ryan, I guess my question is this like a remaster of the original game, or what's going on here?
It's so much more, Sid. This is a complete remake of this beloved Star Wars story. For Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake, we are rebuilding from the ground up while maintaining that integrity of story and character from the original.
So Ryan, how much of a remake are we talking about here? I mean, is this updating some graphics, adding some higher resolution modes?
You know, the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is a true classic and one of our favorite Star Wars stories ever. We want to honor that original story and make it as impactful for players today. In terms of the visuals, we have an opportunity to present this story with a much higher level of fidelity than was possible in the past, while making sure that we're being authentic to what players loved about that original game.
So we know Aspire from bringing classic Star Wars games to modern consoles, but this is a much bigger project than anything the studio's tackled before. So what can you tell me about the team behind the game?
You're absolutely right. While Aspire has enjoyed a great relationship with Lucasfilm Games through our work bringing classic Star Wars games to new audiences on modern platforms, this project is on a completely different level to anything we have done before. That's why we knew we had to assemble the right team to do this project justice. We put together a team full of industry veterans from fan-favorite RPGs, even including the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It has been a really rewarding experience to assemble such a talented team to bring back an epic game. Of course, we're also working closely with the amazing teams at PlayStation and Lucasfilm Games. Together, we couldn't be more excited about what we'll be able to show you in the future. All of us are, of course, huge Star Wars fans too. One of the nice parts about building a team to make a big Star Wars game is the ability to instantly bond with all the new people of your favorite aspects of Star Wars. We all have different Star Wars memorabilia behind us in every call, and it always sparks up a good conversation.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Very exciting stuff, and I'm definitely dying to see more of that one.
Thank you, Sid. It will be some time before we're ready to show more, but we're very...
That guy strikes me as someone who loves the original trilogies, is okay with the prequels, and then love and hates the sequels. I don't know why. That's a pretty bad judgment, but you know. Oh, okay, yeah. So obviously Aspire made the other games as well, but they've just been porting it. So this is a whole new thing for them, which could always be a bit funny. But obviously, with the recent events happening, which what's been going on with EA and what they did with the license, it would make sense to me that they're quite close on this, and we're not going to get some really weird off-the-cuff thing. He strikes me as a dude who hides the fact his favorite character is Jar Jar. Ah, moi. It potentially recanonizes the story and doesn't have to be the Legends universe. This is true, but if we go, and this is something else I prepared, guys, because I am fucking on it today. Oh, what? Organization? Oh, we're gonna read through this thing first before we decide anything else but the stuff. So, all right, let's read through this. There are some video games that change everything, their genre, the art form, what we think a game could be. Orion Kellogg, executive producer at Lucasfilm Games, and Ryan Treadwell, lead producer at Aspire, consider Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, known to fans as KoToR, among those rare works. I was a big RPG fan growing up. I started at Apple LLC and played all the BioWare games, and it wasn't until I started playing KoToR that I really understood how cinematic they could be. Kellogg tells StarWars.com. When I first put in KoToR and saw that the camera was pulled down to ground level, I could look at the skyscrapers of Taris, and I really felt that I'd been put in a world in a way that I'd never been before. The characters were speaking to me in full VO, voiceover, and reacting to my choices, whether I was going to light side or dark, and it felt like it was a paradigm shift. When I was 9, my parents did 2 things that were incredibly impactful. They bought me my first video game console, an original Game Boy, and they sat me down to watch a VHS copy of A New Hope. For me, it was Phantom Menace. Had that on video, or VHS, what you would call it. Which set me, one set me on my career path, the other kick-started my love of storytelling, says Treadwell. When KoToR was released, it married those 2 passions brilliantly, and I was so excited to finally create my hero and explore the galaxy, making the choices I wanted to, and as a kid, I'd pretend to create my own lightsabers out of wrapping paper rolls, and this game was letting me customize my own. I was enamored and an instant fan. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I had the extendable lightsabers, the ones that you would like flick out, and I was always broke because me and my brother would beat each other with them, and it was always hilarious. The worst injury you could get though, fingertips, man, when they would hit the hilt, man, and crack you on the end of your. Nasty. But that's Karen reading. That personal connection for Kellogg and Treadwell has a new meaning today. Announced at PlayStation Showcase 2021, Star Wars Knights of the Republic Remake will see a classic RPG return as a PS5 console exclusive at launch and for PC. Aspyr, the Texas-based studio that has collaborated with Lucasfilm on various projects for over a decade, including a recent spate of well-received re-releases from the LucasArts era, is handling development of rebuilding the game from the ground up. So to borrow a line from Darth Vader, the circle is now complete for Kellogg and Treadwell. Nice. I really, really think that RPGs have never been the same since, says Kellogg. It's a big honor to have the opportunity to work on it. Speaking for the development team, most of us are AAA RPG developers, says Treadwell. This has been something that is a dream for all of us. The KoToR Reborn. Today, KoToR stands as one of the most critically acclaimed Star Wars games ever, with the PC version amassing a current score of 93 on Metacritic. Terrible way to judge fandom, but hey, a high score on Metacritic is good considering how much people hate things nowadays, but yeah, I wouldn't judge things by Metacritic. Fans have long requested a remake to bring the title, originally developed by BioWare and LucasArts, up to the modern standards. As it turns out, Lucasfilm has been listening. We know that KoToR is one of the most beloved Star Wars stories ever told, Kellogg says. We really appreciate the stature it has with all the fans out there. As hardware advances and our game-making prowess advances, as storytelling techniques advance, what better time to allow players to re-experience the great story with all those lessons learned and bring it back to modern platforms using modern methods. That's something I've wanted to do personally for a very long time, and I think everybody involved with Star Wars games has wanted to do for a very long time. I have a dog, so I have to go get him quickly. 1 second. Do you want to read out Star Wars with your dad? Because we love Star Wars, don't we, mate? Because you watch Star Wars with Dad. When Dad's ill, we watch Mandalorian together, don't we? Yeah, that's the microphone. Okay, right, let's read it out, my friend. From our side, the relationship that we have with KoToR is long as well, says Treadwell. Oh, he doesn't want to be here because I'm too loud. Sorry, boy. Sorry. You were the chosen one! From our side, the relationship we have with KoToR is long as well, says Treadwell, referencing the company's port of the original game to iPhone and iPad. It's something that we've been very excited about and interested in for quite a long time. We're just really excited to get in there and do this amazing game justice. We've had a long and fruitful working relationship, says Kellogg of Aspyr. We knew that they understood the brand, we knew that they understood how to collaborate with us, and we felt really good about that. Then, to start seeing the team that they're building and the developers that they're adding from a variety of AAA top-notch development studios from around the world, we knew that they were ready to take that step. So we're really happy to be working with them. Aspyr and Lucasfilm Games aren't in alone, however. Sony Interactive Entertainment, as a creative collaborator in the project, working closely on development with Aspyr and Lucasfilm Games, particularly on how to take full advantage of its newest cutting-edge platform. Having Sony Interactive Entertainment on board has been fantastic, says KoToR. They're helping all of us navigate this space and navigate their hardware with an inside track on the cutting edge. KoToR, which is a part of the legend storytelling, dials the Star Wars clock back over 4,000 years before the Skywalker saga. The Galactic Republic is at its height and has been through a major war. Jedi are plentiful, but so are the Sith. And the evil Darth Malak leads a growing legion of Dark Warriors. Players will go on an epic adventure along the way, visiting different worlds, amass a party of memorable beings, and uncover their own mysterious past. It's telling a story that should feel very familiar and authentic to Star Wars fans. It tells stories about light and dark, about heroes and the journeys that common people can go on to become heroes and figure out who they are, KoToR says. One of the breakout characters from KoToR, Revan, has only grown in stature over the years with fans. Revan's is a heroic tale of succumbing to the dark side, says Treadwell. It's a deep and impactful story that is a ton of depth and interest. Indeed, Hasbro's Revan Force FX Elite lightsaber sits behind Treadwell. Oh, there you go. Plus, Revan looks really cool. We can't forget that. That didn't say it's staying in Legends. It said it was a part of Legends. Oh wait, no, KoToR, which is a part of the Legends storytelling. Okay, right. Dude, we need to learn that it doesn't matter if things stay a part of Legends. I'll be honest, mate. Does it really matter if it's still a part of Legends? Though he won't give specifics, Treadwell says development on KoToR Remake has been active for a little while in close collaboration with Lucasfilm Games. There's a lot to build on this one, so we've been having a lot of great conversations on how to build what we're doing, what are the pillars of the game, and coming up with all of that together, Treadwell says. And there's specific reasons that Aspyr and Lucasfilm are taking their time in the early stages and having those conversations. Remakes in any medium can be a dicey proposition. Change too much and you can ruin the magic. Change too little and what's the point? Then there's the weight of fan expectation. KoToR and Treadwell, as fans themselves, understand all of this completely and have it top of mind. This is something that is important and impactful, says Treadwell. Our big goal on this is to bring the story to a modern audience and have it be just as impactful today as it was for players when it originally launched. In general, I agree, but with Revan already being a part of the canon now, it would be nice for that to just be an Easter egg and actually mean something. True, but I'm hoping though that Lucas, because obviously the way that Disney works nowadays is that almost everything is canon. They are loosening that now because Star Wars Visions isn't canon. But before, comics, books, films, TV shows, everything is fully canon. So sometimes with a game, it could be a little bit nicer if they can just loosen those threads a little bit. However, this game is so far back and so closely to the Lucasfilm, I see no reason to not make it canon. But hey, they might actually do that. You never know. But sometimes when you go less canon, you get a bit more crazy on force powers, which is always cool. We've been working really closely with Aspyr for a long time to deconstruct what made KoToR so great and bring that back to new audiences. Because we want this game to be an incredible RPG, says KoToR, we want this game to be just as beloved as it was before. Some of my favourite meetings to have in my week right now are to get in the nitty-gritty with Aspyr and talk about why do we make that choice in the original game and how does that play today? How do we expand that choice and make it even more meaningful and impactful? We think about literally every word of dialogue and other choices, down to the clothes that is the character is wearing. Well, that's the stance that George Lucas used to hold. It was basically like if you made a book out of a certain time frame, he didn't care. Well, they didn't care, but it was like it was way less strict on it. If it was outside a certain time frame, that you could create a bit more madness with it. We're very lucky that we played this when it came out and have those memories, adds Treadwell, because I really think a great and true approach to a remake process is to understand what that game was at that moment and what the memory of that game was at that moment in time. Our labor of love here is to go and realize that memory as if it were built today. To achieve this, Aspyr has bolstered its ranks, including some secret weapons. I see only those lovely curtains that you're wearing. Thank you. Remaking a beloved game like KoToR is a big task, and it requires a talented team that understands the original game at a deep level, as well as how to approach rebuilding that content, says Treadwell. We've experienced a prolific group of we've assembled a prolific group of some of the gaming's top RPG developers, including those with direct work experience on Star Wars games and video game remakes. Many of us previously worked at BioWare, with credits going back to the original KoToR to further bolster that. We've added some amazing developers from games like Demon's Souls Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, and our narrative team is fantastic, with years of storytelling experience across Star Wars games and comics. We also have Jason Miner and Brad Prince on the team, whose experience with the world characters and the creatures of this universe is invaluable. And I'm excited to partner once again with Matt Berner, our lead game designer. We worked together on Dragon Age Inquisition, and we immediately fell back into our old rhythm. For Kellogg and Treadwell, access to those who worked in the original KoToR is particularly important. We can say what were you trying to do and why did you do this? Let's make sure that we have the same goals in mind as we reapproach this time, says Kellogg. We're just going to be able to do more things with asset variety and fidelity and storytelling that just weren't possible then, but are still going to meet the same goals. One thing as well, Ellen didn't know, the lady that was speaking at the very start, that was the same voiceover for Bastilla, if you hadn't noticed it. They've just confirmed it here as well. Can confirm that Jennifer Hale, we all think the world of Jennifer. She's an amazing talent and immediately slipped back into the role of Bastilla. When she came to help us with the teaser trailer, Treadwell says, I do think that you're going to see some other familiar voices return, but that probably as deep as we're going to go on that one right now. Okay, last bit, guys. On in the past, looking towards the future. For many, KoToR is not just among the best Star Wars games ever, but one of the best video games, full stop. The teams working on KoToR Remake takes that legacy seriously, and in honoring that legacy, the hope for Lucasfilm Games and Aspire is that a whole new generation of gamers who've never played it will pick up controllers. Exactly. That was key. I think KoToR has its reputation for a reason, Kellogg says. So if you want to know what all the buzz is about, there is no better time to give it a try than when the remake drops. It's an invitation to be a hero, an invitation to explore the galaxy in a way that you haven't seen anywhere else, and it's just a really great fun RPG to play, and a replay on top of that. And to those who've loved KoToR through the years, it's a chance to experience something cherished in a new way. From the sound of it, KoToR Remake is no nostalgia trip. Rather, it is a love letter to a widely considered Star Wars masterpiece. This is the crown jewel of Star Wars gaming lineup, and we wouldn't be so excited to share it with everybody if we weren't absolutely confident it was going to be an awesome game, Kellogg says. We trust Aspire, we trust the team that's working on it, and we're doing the work ourselves to dig in, deconstruct, and reconnect to why people love it, because we don't want to mess with that. We love it too. And so we want to do it right, and we hope everybody feels we've done this game a service when all is said and done. Well, there's a long way to go. Treadwell and Kellogg are already appreciative of the opportunity to work on the title they hold dear. This has been one of my favourite games at Treadwell, and I'm of course a big Star Wars fan. And it's just been a dream come true to spend hours and hours talking about Gamorreans and Sith and all of the fun things that we get to do. I've been making Star Wars games for a long time, and this is why we do it, Kellogg says. We have the opportunity to retell one of the greatest Star Wars stories ever told. And I feel nothing but excited and thankful for the chance to get to work on it, and hope everybody really loves it. So, here we go. Super heckin' excited! I'm so ready! Well, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Safe to say, was super excited. And I just love talking about Star Wars with you guys. I have a couple of videos in the pipeline, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, remember, the Force will be with you. Always.